beautiful winter Rochester day. Believe it or not, we are only 71 days away from opening day, the Red Wings home opener here on Saturday, April 9th, when we take on the Scranton Wilkes-Barre Rail Riders at 4:05. We're very much looking forward to the season. That we all know that this time of year, time goes by very fast in the baseball world between now and opening day, and we're very fortunate to have our manager Mike Quade back here today, and then he'll be at the shareholders meeting tomorrow morning. So, last year when we found out Mike was going to be our manager, we were very excited, not only because of his track record, his win-loss record, but also his vast experience in the big leagues as well as the minor leagues. We're very fortunate to have a guy with his amount of experience in the game of baseball. To get a guy that has managed in the major leagues as your manager here in AAA is something that's very rare. So we were very excited about that, and I can tell you that not only were our expectations met, but they were truly exceeded by the job that Mike did last year with our club. He's a real pro. He was great to work with. Has a tremendous understanding of everything involved in the world of baseball. Not only what happens on the field, obviously that is his main focus, but has a great understanding of what we do in the front office, and has great respect and understanding from where the fans are coming from. So it's great to have a guy like Mike back here for his second year in leading the Rochester Red Wings. So I'd like to welcome back to town Mr. Mike Quade, your skipper for your Rochester Red Wings in 2016.
And not even laundered.
That's what you get for not going to the playoffs.
Am I really gonna put this on?
Yeah, looks good.
Okay. Same number or different number?
Same number.
We can change it. Which one of the 12 hats do you wear?
Depends on the day.
All right. Anyway, you're okay with that?
Yeah.
Since I put it on.
Yes, you're good.
Thank you very much. The Love Fest. Anyway, thrilled to be back. Groundhog Day. 18 degrees on the board. Last year I was coming for the first time, so you leave and you come back, and not much has changed. Other than my appreciation for the front office and the people here in Rochester, the fans and the rest of it, and I mean that. And you say that, people say you say that wherever you go. Well, I came back after a couple of years off, got back in the game, and then got back into managing last year. And there's a million reasons why this was a good fit for me, or at least that I thought it was going to be a good fit for me. And on the rare occasion that I was correct, it wound up being a really good fit. Everything from the people that are running this organization, to the fans, to the people that are running the Minnesota organization, and I need to thank them for having me back, because without them there's no this. And it's just everything about the travel and everything in this league that I really, really enjoyed. So had a good winter, looking forward to an even better season than last year. And obviously there will be a lot of new faces. My staff, new pitching coach, who I think people are familiar with here, right?
Very familiar.
Stu, and who I was roommates with in beautiful Buffalo, New York, 100 years ago. So we have a history, and a real good one. And Chad as well, who I believe played for me. After all these years, I'm losing it. But anyway, looking forward. We'll miss Marty. We'll miss Timmy very much. But that's the nature of this game. As players, staff, there will be a lot of new people. The strength guy, Larry will be back, right? He'll never leave unless he goes to the big league. So anyway, but thanks again, and it's great to be back.
So how do you think things went on the field last year?
Okay, they went well. You're never completely happy when you don't wind up in postseason, and it doesn't matter. And I suppose if you really don't think you have a really good club, particularly at another level, because in the minor leagues, oftentimes it's such a crapshoot. You just don't know. You've got kids that get better. You've got the big league level. It's a little bit different. And is this team really a contender this year? Well, everybody goes to spring training thinking so, but I think that we had the kind of club that I thought could contend. Scranton was very, very good, and a little disappointed that we couldn't catch them. But these things happen, and ultimately, I think we put on a good show for the people here. And I know that a lot of the players the people here got to watch went and contributed in Minnesota. And that was huge, all the success they had and the kind of year they had that I do think was unexpected.
There was success not only with the Twins last year, going from worst to above 500 and surprised a lot of people, but also throughout the organization. How do you maintain whatever momentum you may have going into this season?
Well, I think, look, you need good players to have a good organization and a good team. Love what I do, try and get better at it every year. That can be said for, I would like to thank all the staff members here. But the scouts and the people that have signed all this good young talent, and I think I said this last year, but I've been fortunate to have been with a couple of organizations, Montreal many, many years ago, and Oakland not so many years ago, but a while ago, that had incredible young talent. And it benefits everybody involved from the major leagues on down. So you start with that. Some of the faces that people will see here, hopefully or possibly this year, maybe they got to look at last year briefly. Maybe they haven't seen yet, but the AA club had a heck of a year. You know, I need to talk to Dougie. He's had 2 great years. Let me talk and find out a little bit about these players that I haven't seen, a Kepler or whoever. And oh, by the way, the competition for major league slots and for Paul's club, it'll be unbelievable. So part of you says, well, you know, I wonder if this guy, I wonder if that guy, and I know the fans are thinking that all the time, but I got news for you. There's a lot of good young talent that might wind up on Paul's club, and then we'll see what shakes out to come here. But I think it'll be a talented club, and I know it'll be a club that will play hard.
So are you expecting, if not Buxton, Kepler, if not Kepler, Buxton?
Well, I hope none of them. I mean, let them all make that club. Whatever is best for the major league club. But we know we're talking about young players. Okay, Buck's got his taste last year. Maybe he's the everyday center fielder. Kepler had a great year. Maybe he's there every day. I don't know and these guys will have to have good springs and so on. Polanco did a great job here. Went there. Santana. I mean, the list goes on and on. Vargas. There's so many guys that are going to have a chance to make that club, and they can't all make it. So you'd like to think that there will be a real good, solid base of players here, whatever shakes out. Now we got to keep them healthy and we got to get better.
Barrios had a great second half of the season.
Oh, absolutely.
So, anticipating that he probably will be at Minnesota.
I hope again, and it sounds so funny because I think the people here got a chance to see how good that kid is. I'd like to think that he's on the verge, if not ready, to contribute every day for Paul and for Terry. But I won't make that decision. They will, and he will. And he'll go to spring training and stay healthy and pitch well. And between his performance and the evaluators in this organization, they'll decide where they're at with him. One of the beauties of being here and not being at the major league level sometimes is those decisions get really tough with young players up there. And we just sit back and maybe give an opinion or two, but wait to see what shakes out. And then hopefully realize what it's going to take. Whoever doesn't make that club, what's the reason and what's it going to take? And what do we need to work on here? And what do we need to see improvement on here in Rochester that gets them back there when the opportunity presents itself? And that's what this is all about. And it's, in AA and A ball, you've got to think a better feel for who's coming and what the situation is. But because of our interaction with the Major League club, it's a little different animal.
So the pitcher Park that the Twins signed the offseason, know anything about him?
I know nothing.
Yeah.
I know nothing. The big slugger, I know, I know, no, I sound like Schultz, right? I know nothing. And it's funny, a lot of times people say, well, he's just saying.
Most of us
no, I
are
really
too.
don't. I really don't. I look at the 6-year signings, and the truth of, when the season's over, I go home, and I go fishing. And about this time of year, about time Super Bowl rolls around, it's time to really get serious about taking a look at things. But again, as a younger manager, you're always thinking, okay, who's going to have it? You're always doing that thing. And through experience and stuff, and watching things over the years, when you come to this level, just relax and enjoy the show. And when April 7th comes and we go to Scranton and play opening day, we'll see where we're at, and we'll see what's needed. And that's so I have a little different perspective.